And I think that he expected, for some reason, that he would be out on bond. And obviously, that hasn't happened. There were three different.
Oh, baby. Sean Combs is ringing in the new year in a spot nobody, and I mean nobody, ever thought they'd see him, locked up behind bars. For a man who spent decades crafting an image of untouchable power, wealth, and pure swagger, this reality is hitting harder than any of his billboard-smashing hits. Word on the street is that life behind those cold gray walls is breaking him down, and it's not just his freedom that's slipping. His mind might be too.
So this isn't someone who's a hardened criminal who has spent a lot of time in custody. So the fact that he's spending Christmas and New Year's and future holidays in prison is probably finally getting to him.
Life at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center ain't exactly a penthouse suite, and sources say Diddy is struggling to adjust. He's been trying to finesse his way out with frequent medical visits, hoping those hospital runs would buy him a little fresh air and freedom. But here's the tea. It's not working. Those pleas for release, child, they're falling on deaf ears. And every failed attempt is just adding fuel to his frustration.
Sean Combs is not giving up on his fight to be released on bail as he awaits trial on charges. His request for release has been denied twice, so he's hoping the third time will be a charm.
Whew, the mighty have truly fallen. Diddy went from being that guy, untouchable, unstoppable, living in a world where the rules bent like soft plastic in his hands, to just another number in the system. Once a man who could silence a whole room with a look, he's now standing in line for toothpaste and toilet paper like everybody else. And let me tell you, insiders are saying the mental toll is starting to crack that polished exterior. The stakes? Oh, they couldn't be higher. Diddy's not just fighting for his freedom, honey. He's fighting to keep that billion-dollar image from crumbling like stale bread. But as the days crawl by, those cracks are becoming harder and harder to hide. Will he keep his cool and pull off another Houdini-level escape from scandal? Or is the weight of his past finally too heavy to bear? Baby, stay tuned, because this tea is still piping hot. One thing's for sure, P. Diddy is stepping into 2025 with anything but a champagne toast. Word is the mogul is struggling, big time, to adjust to life behind bars, and those holiday blues hit him harder than a bad remix. Woo, chilly. Diddy's first holiday season locked up at Brooklyn's MDC was anything but holly jolly. Word on the cell block is that the mogul had a full-on meltdown over his situation, leading to an outburst so intense it ended in a desperate plea for medical attention. But guess what? Denied.
Hitting him that Diddy's going to be in custody at least until May 2025, I think he's just having a tough time coming to terms with it.
Let's not forget, Diddy's been facing racketeering, coercion, and a laundry list of other heavy charges since last September. And baby, first, his legal team suggested house arrest at his swanky Miami mansion, then tried to sweet-talk the courts into letting him chill in a luxury New York apartment. But nah, the judge wasn't having it. They said he's a flight risk, a potential danger to the community, and even accused him of witness tampering while already in custody. Whew. Messy. Now, sources say this latest denial pushed Diddy to the edge. He's reportedly been turning to meditation to keep his cool, but let's keep it real. The man's looking rough. Insiders describe him as thinner, grayer, and just plain worn out. And honestly, that's no surprise. One source spilled, "When you first get locked up, it's normal to go through this. The transition hits hard and depression sets in." Whew. One thing's clear. The shiny mogul exterior is starting to crack, and the struggle is real. Stay tuned, because this saga is far from over. Whew! Let me spill this tea because it's hot. Word around the yard is that Diddy's paranoia has been running wild. And honestly, can you blame him? Allegedly, he's been terrified someone might slip something into his food. Something slow, something sneaky, something that'll have him clocking out early with a one-way ticket to the upper room. Think about it. What if someone on the outside had a connection? A cousin, an uncle, or somebody working in the prison kitchen? Just a little sprinkle of poison here, a dash of contamination there, and boom, game over for Mr. Puff Daddy. That fear reportedly had him skipping meals, which explains why he's looking so thin and worn out. But here's where it gets even juicier.
So this isn't someone who's a hardened criminal who has spent a lot of time in custody. So the fact that he's spending Christmas and New Year's and future holidays in prison is probably finally getting to him.
The day after Christmas, Diddy allegedly begged the guards to take him to the prison hospital because he swore he was having a mental breakdown. Baby, they said no. And let me tell you, That denial sent him spiraling even further. Sources close to him say he truly thought his high-powered legal team would have had him out sipping champagne by now. Spending the holidays locked up? Oh, that was a nightmare he never saw coming. Eventually, though, Diddy managed to pull himself back from the edge using meditation techniques he's been practicing behind bars. Whew. Chile. It took hours of deep breathing, eyes closed, and serious focus to pull himself out of that dark space. This story just keeps getting wilder, and something tells me we're far from the final chapter. Grab your popcorn, honey. It's about to get even messier.
Place where he's locked up now getting a lot of attention. The Metropolitan Detention Center, the only federal jail in New York City, is known for violence, poor conditions, and a string of celebrity detainees.
Now let me break this all the way down for y'all because the plot just keeps getting thicker. This ain't Diddy's first rodeo when it comes to trying to finesse the system behind bars. Sis, prosecutors are accusing him of pulling major strings to corruptly influence witness testimony. And get this, allegedly, he wasn't even slick about it. Word is, Diddy was using other inmates' phone accounts and pulling off three-way calls to reach people he had no business talking to. Prosecutors claim he even gave his family specific instructions to contact potential witnesses. All of this caught on recorded calls. Like, sir, what were we thinking? Now, here's where it gets spicy. At a recent hearing, Judge Arun Subramanian ordered prosecutors to destroy certain materials seized from Diddy's jail cell while deciding if they can be used at trial. Oh, but that's not all. The judge also said those materials couldn't be used at his next bail hearing either. Diddy's legal team argued that the notes were taken illegally and contained privileged attorney-client information. But baby, the prosecutors clapped back real quick. They said a filter team reviewed those materials and claimed there might be evidence of obstruction of justice in those notes. Whew, y'all, this whole situation is messier than a toddler with finger paint. One thing's clear, Diddy's playing chess while the system is playing checkmate. Stay tuned, because this legal roller coaster ain't slowing down anytime soon. Whew, chilly. Let me lay this all out because Diddy's legal circus just keeps on spinning. Despite pleading not guilty and denying any wrongdoing, the man has been sitting in jail since September 16th. And honey, the judges are not budging on that bail. Why? They're saying he's too much of a risk for witness tampering. Last week, Diddy's lawyers tried to pull out all the stops, offering up a $50 million bail package with round-the-clock monitoring under house arrest. Sis, they basically said, let him chill at home, and we'll keep him under 24/7 lockdown. But nah, the prosecutors were like, absolutely not. The government's got receipts too. They're accusing Diddy of running game even from behind bars, allegedly orchestrating social media posts to sway a potential jury. Oh, and it gets juicier. There's reportedly a woman witness too who prosecutors say worked with Diddy to draft a statement over multiple texts and phone calls from prison. And hold up, it's even suggested that Diddy may have paid her to make that statement public. And get this, prosecutors also brought up that birthday video Diddy's kids posted for him on November 5th. They claim it was all part of a public relations strategy to make him look more sympathetic in the court of public opinion. Phew, if this ain't a Netflix series in the making, I don't know what is. Stay locked in, baby, because this story is serving drama, scandal, and receipts on a silver platter. Ooh, the plot thickens, honey, because this case is getting juicier by the minute. Prosecutors are now alleging that Diddy has been pulling all the strings from behind bars, monitoring social media engagement like he's running a full-blown PR campaign. They claim he's been strategically trying to sway potential jury members too. And that's not all. Word is he's been using other inmates' phone accounts to make calls and even directing payments to keep his access intact. The prosecutors say Diddy's been running a relentless campaign to contact witnesses, including alleged victims of his abuse. They told the judge flat out that no set of bail conditions could protect the public from the risks he's posed. They even said, this man has an uncanny ability to get people to do his bidding, and added there's no reason to believe private security could keep him in check if he's released. As if that's not enough, Diddy's legal team has been criticizing the jail conditions, claiming it's been a tough adjustment for him, especially when it comes to food. But prosecutors are like, hey, that's just a part of the game, and food is probably the least of his worries right now. Now hold on to your seats because the case is picking up serious steam. In a big move, a key ruling will allow one of Diddy's accusers to remain anonymous, something prosecutors say is necessary to protect the integrity of the trial. But you already know Diddy's defense team is getting ready to go hard. They're planning to discredit the testimonies by highlighting every inconsistency and playing every angle. Baby, this is a legal showdown of epic proportions and it's far from over. Stay tuned because this drama is about to get real messy. Whew, honey, if you thought this tea was done steeping, think again. Diddy's legal mess is tangled tighter than a lace front wig in a windstorm, and it looks like things are only getting worse for him. Let's start with the bail situation. Typically, when a judge looks at a bail motion, they review it fresh, like it's the first time they've ever heard the case. That's called a de novo standard. But when it goes to appeal? Oh, baby, it's a whole different ballgame. The appellate court reviews the original judge's decision under what's called an abuse of discretion standard. Translation: they've got to prove the original judge was acting unreasonably or way outside their authority. And let me tell you, that bar is high. What makes it even messier is that as time drags on, the odds of bail get even slimmer. New evidence, fresh allegations, and mounting pressure all start stacking against him, making it harder and harder for his team to argue for release. Basically, every passing day is like another nail in the bail coffin. But wait, it gets even spicier. Reports say Diddy is straight up refusing to leave his jail cell to accept service of multiple lawsuits. Yup, the Bad Boy Records founder is allegedly causing delays in his legal proceedings by dodging and stalling. And Chile, attorney Tony Busby's co-counsel, has had it. In a filing submitted on December 30th, they basically called Diddy out for playing games and dragging his feet. Phew, if this isn't courtroom chaos at its finest. One thing's for sure, Diddy's legal team better come with receipts, strategy, and a whole lot of prayers, because this uphill battle is looking steeper by the day. Stay tuned, baby. This story is giving non-stop drama. Whew, baby, let me clutch my pearls because this tea is scorching. Diddy's legal saga is spiraling, and now we've got lawsuits piling up like unwashed dishes after one of his infamous Wild King nights. Let's break it down. Diddy's refusal to cooperate and accept legal paperwork has already caused delays in two specific cases. Judges have been asked to push conferences originally scheduled for January 10th all the way to February, and reportedly, both legal teams are on board with the new timeline. Now let's get into this lawsuit filed by Philip Pines, Diddy's former assistant. Baby, according to TMZ, Pines is accusing Diddy of SA, battery, harassment, and trafficking. And Chile, the allegations? Straight out of a scandalous movie script. Pines claims that between January 2019 and September 2021, his job wasn't just running errands. It was managing and cleaning up after what Diddy allegedly called Wild King nights. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. These parties allegedly included rooms stocked with alcohol, honey packs, if you know, baby oil, machines, and illegal substances. Pines says these gatherings would go on for days, and when the lights finally came on, he was left to clean up bodily fluids, drug residue, wrappers, and even blood. And here's where it takes a darker turn. Pines claims Diddy coerced him into having relations with a woman while Diddy watched. Whew, Chile. Hotel staff were allegedly paid off to make sure nobody spoke about the aftermath of these wild nights. But of course, Diddy's legal team came out swinging, denying every single allegation. In a statement, they said, no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never SA'd or trafficked anyone, man, woman, adult, or minor. They added that anyone can file a lawsuit these days, and they're ready to fight back. At this point, baby, this isn't just a legal case, it's a saga. Grab your snacks, your best bonnet, and settle in because this roller coaster is nowhere near its final drop. Stay tuned, honey. Whew, baby. Just when you thought this mess couldn't get any messier, here we go again. Diddy's got yet another lawsuit on his hands, and this one? Oh, honey, it's giving horror movie realness. But before we dive into that piping hot tea, let's talk about what Christmas behind bars looks like for the bad boy mogul. So, according to insider Levine, Christmas at the MDC ain't exactly festive, Chile. Inmates get a little holiday sack filled with cookies, chips, and candy. But here's the kicker. It's basically a sad plastic pillowcase stuffed with snacks that are probably expired. Yup, Levine spilled that the prison system buys outdated junk, throws it in a bag, and tries to pass it off as holiday cheer. And while Diddy might get one of these mediocre snack sacks, that's about it for his Yuletide joy. But let's get back to the real headline, because baby, this new lawsuit is wild. A woman named Grayson has come forward, claiming that what started as a dream-come-true radio contest prize turned into a nightmare straight out of a true crime podcast. Now, we don't have all the details just yet, but Grayson alleges her experience with Diddy went horribly wrong. Whatever happened must have been serious, because she's taking this all the way to court. And honey, with the tidal wave of accusations already crashing down on Diddy, this latest one just adds fuel to the fire. One thing's for sure. Diddy's team better stay ready, because these lawsuits are coming fast, furious, and relentless. And something tells me this story isn't slowing down anytime soon. Stay tuned, baby, because we're in for yet another round of jaw-dropping revelations. Oh, honey, buckle up because this tea is boiling. This latest lawsuit against Diddy isn't just another anonymous accusation. It's a full-on exposé with Grayson stepping forward, face out, and ready to tell her story. And baby, the details? Absolutely chilling. Let's start at the beginning. Back in 2006, Grayson won a contest on Oklahoma's K-Jam's 105.3 FM, a promotional giveaway sponsored by Diddy's Bad Boy Entertainment, Atlantic Records, and Delta Airlines. The grand prize? A luxury trip for two to New York City, topped off with an exclusive invite to one of Diddy's infamous white parties. Now, if you don't know, let me put you on. Diddy's white parties were legendary, darling. We're talking A-list celebrities, flowing champagne, and over-the-top luxury at every corner. For Grayson, it was supposed to be the experience of a lifetime. But chilly, the dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Grayson claims she was drugged, assaulted, and later woke up in a hospital bed with zero recollection of how she got there. Baby, let me repeat that. No memory at all. And here's where it gets even darker. Grayson's lawsuit, filed in New York federal court, isn't just pointing fingers at Diddy. Oh no, sis is alleging there was a whole network of coordination involved. According to her, Diddy's companies, the radio station, the hotel, and even the airline all played a role in what happened to her. Whew, baby, the layers to this are giving full conspiracy thriller. At this point, the weight of these accusations is heavier than a fur coat in July, and it doesn't look like Diddy's legal troubles are slowing down anytime soon. Grayson stepping forward publicly adds a whole new level of intensity to this case. And Chile, you already know the world is watching every move. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and we'll be here sipping tea, taking notes, and keeping you updated every step of the way. Stay tuned, baby. Oh, honey, buckle up because this story just went from glamorous to downright grim. Let me spill the tea because Grayson's allegations are giving nightmare fuel. So, Grayson and her sibling touched down in New York City, checked into the Roger Smith Hotel, and were all set for what was supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience at one of Diddy's exclusive white parties. But baby, that dream turned into a full-blown horror story. When it was time to hit the party, they were loaded into a van alongside other contest winners. Now, you'd think they were all about to have the night of their lives, right? Wrong. Because when they pulled up to the venue, things took a dark turn. At the entrance, there was some kind of bizarre selection process happening. Contest winners weren't just being let in, they were being judged. Yep, judged. On their appearance. And if you didn't make the cut, you weren't getting in. Grayson's sibling denied entry, but Grayson, she was let through, and sis walked into that party completely alone. Now let me tell you, walking into a room full of strangers without your backup, that's red flag city. Once inside, Grayson says the vibe was just off. There was no regular bar where you could casually order a drink. Instead, pre-made cocktails were being handed out by waitresses. And baby, that's where it all started to spiral. Grayson says she had just 2 drinks before she started feeling violently ill and disoriented. She tried to make her way to the restroom, probably desperate to steady herself. But before she could even get there, everything went black. Now listen, Chile. Waking up alone in a hospital with no memory of how you got there? That's every woman's worst nightmare. And let's not forget, these aren't just wild accusations. Grayson is naming names. Radio stations, hotels, airlines, all allegedly tangled up in this twisted web. At this point, Diddy's team better have a flawless defense strategy, because this isn't just messy, it's explosive. Baby, keep your eyes on this case because something tells me this rabbit hole goes deep. The next thing Grayson remembers? Waking up in a hospital bed at St. Vincent's Medical Center, and let me tell you, it's the kind of wake-up call nobody wants. Her shirt was ripped, her underwear was missing, and her money was gone. Just gone. Sis had no clue how she ended up there, what had happened to her, or who was responsible. And the hospital staff? They told her she'd been found unconscious and rushed in for emergency care. Can you even imagine the terror? Waking up confused, violated, and with zero answers? It's the kind of nightmare that sticks with you forever. But oh honey, the plot thickens. because not long after, Grayson got a mysterious phone call. And let me tell you, it wasn't a friendly check-in. The woman on the other end of the line? She warned Grayson not to take any legal action against Diddy, straight up told her it would be a waste of time. Now, let's pause right there. Imagine being in Grayson's shoes, traumatized, scared, and now intimidated. That phone call wasn't just shady, it was chilling. Listen, whatever happened that night didn't stay at that party, and whoever made that call was clearly trying to keep things quiet. But Sis isn't staying silent anymore, and I have a feeling this story is far from over. Whew, Chile, buckle up because the receipts are starting to pile up, and this case is about to get even messier. Stay tuned. Whew, let me sip this tea real quick because whew, Chile. This story just hit a whole new level. Grayson, after nearly 2 decades of silence, is finally stepping into the spotlight and telling her truth. And baby, her timing, impeccable. With Diddy currently caught up in a federal storm of charges and racketeering allegations, Sis feels like it's finally safe to speak up. But oh honey, she's not just coming for Diddy. No ma'am. Her lawsuit is also pointing fingers at Bad Boy Entertainment, Atlantic Records, Delta Airlines, and the Roger Smith Hotel. That's right. She's coming for everybody who had their fingerprints on this mess. Grayson isn't just saying Diddy's to blame. She's calling out an entire system that allegedly enabled what happened to her. And honestly, it raises some very real questions about the culture surrounding these infamous white parties. Over the years, whispers have swirled about what really went down at these events. Rumors of predatory behavior, drug-fueled chaos, and guests being exploited behind closed doors. But Grayson's story? It ain't no whisper. It's a shout. Sis is pulling back the velvet curtain and showing us what was really happening behind those exclusive doors, a place where image and celebrity clout came first, and safety and accountability didn't even make the guest list. And now, everybody involved might just have to answer for it in court. Whew, this ain't just messy, it's sticky, and you already know I'll be right here, front row with my popcorn watching every twist and turn. Stay tuned, baby, because this saga, far from over. While Grayson's decision to come forward is courageous, her case is not without challenges because she doesn't have a direct memory of the or any specific interaction with Diddy. The defense could argue that her claims lack concrete evidence. However, Grayson has submitted photos, receipts, and hospital records as part of her case, which could strengthen her credibility. And then there's the bigger picture. Grayson's lawsuit is just one of many currently piling up against Diddy, from accusations of abuse by former girlfriends to claims of orchestrating exploitative environments at his parties. The pattern of allegations is difficult to ignore. The sheer volume of these claims raises the question, how many more stories like Grayson's are out there? Diddy's legal team has, as expected, denied the allegations and is likely preparing an aggressive defense. But the timing of this lawsuit couldn't be worse for him, with federal authorities already investigating him on other charges. This new case adds another layer of scrutiny to his public and private life. This case is just beginning to unfold, and it's already making waves. Will this lawsuit finally bring some long-awaited accountability to Diddy? Or will it be another instance where celebrity status and wealth shields someone from facing the consequences of their actions? Only time will tell. But when one thing is clear, LaToya Grayson's bravery in stepping forward could pave the way for more victims to speak out, shining a light on the dark underbelly of an industry that has long been accused of turning a blind eye to abuse. What do you latest allegations with the trial set for May 2025? All eyes will be on Diddy's next moves. Will he manage to maintain composure as the case against him intensifies? Or will this reported holiday meltdown be the first of many cracks in his defense? One thing's for sure, the drama is far from over.